Olá, hello everyone. Hello everyone, welcome to the God Stack. This is a new day, this is a new world. Let's do it. What we are going to do today, we are going to improve the Docker container security and prepare our API to go live. Okay, so that's what's gonna do. Welcome Bruno to the God Stack. How are you? How was your
Hello,
day?
was fine. Busy day, but was fine. Everything good.
That's
Let's go for this this section.
yeah. So,
Hello,
uh,
everyone.
yeah. So Rafa it's already here. Deborah it's already here. So let's do it. Uh, well, in the last section, what we've done, uh, we've implemented the CI process. Okay, so in the end of the CI process, we have these testing. The thing is, we have a registry, and in our registry, we have the development. Okay, and now what we need to do, what we want to do, we want to create the production. Okay, because as you can see, it gets the environment from the Docker file, and when we go live, we will use the .env production to build our image, and as you can see, the environment it's gonna be production. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is to create another folder here, and let's go to production. Okay, and I'm going to get this Docker file. Okay, I'm gonna copy it and I'm gonna paste it. Okay, because the registry for development and production would be almost uh, almost the same. Okay, but it's not exactly the same. For example, if we get the bash, I don't need the bash into production. Albus is here as well. Welcome, Albus. Welcome to the God Stack. So we don't need bash into production. Okay, so this is the first thing that we're going to just delete from here. Okay, so let's think about the image first. So let's start from the beginning, the from. As you can see, I'm using Node.js, and I'm using a specific Node.js with a specific OS. Okay, I saw some people doing that from Node. Is it going to work? Yes, this is going to work. But what happens is this is going to this is going to get this is going to get the latest version of Node. Every time you build, it's going to go to the Docker Hub and get the latest version. This is not good because, for example, I'm using here the version 14. So let's just take a look at the Docker Hub right now. Docker Hub. And if you go and look for Node, uh, you will see that the last version that they have is the version 16. Okay, so it's not going to be the same every time you build. So for security reasons and to keep it safe, I strongly recommend you to get a very specific version. So when you go to the Docker Hub, you can get a very specific version from any one of these. Don't get, for example, version Node 14. Don't do that. Okay, just do just get the most specific one that you can get. So you will ensure that every time you build, it's always the same. Guy, it's in the live as well. Welcome, Guy. Welcome to the God Stack. Hello, beautiful. I believe that he's talking to you, Bruno, because he said beautiful. So I believe that's with you.
I don't think so, but okay, I will take the compliment.
Nice, nice. Okay. The next thing we need to install next. So don't worry. Okay, we're gonna do that. Uh, when we go into production, I'm just going to make the work to goes up. This is because I want to do here something like that user, and I'm just gonna get any name. Let's call it, for example, TGS. Okay, you can get any username. Now this is gonna be the user that will be running inside the Docker container. Because if you don't set a user, the user running it's the root. We don't want the root user running into our container when we go live into production. This is a security. This is a security problem. Okay, but before we do that, we need to do that. So let's run some command, and it's gonna be a Sean. John in Linux, it's change the owner. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to make something. So the TGS is gonna be the owner, and the group of the owner is gonna be the TGS as well. Okay, and what's gonna be the folder that I'm gonna do that? I'm gonna do that inside of the folder apt-root source. This means that all my system will be owned by root, but this folder specifically is gonna be owned by TGS, and now we have a better security settings in our image. Okay, and of course I'm going to do the copy. Okay, copy, and when I do the copy, I will do the copy with the settings of this changing owner set it. So I'm going to do, like, for example, TGS, okay, and I'm gonna copy everything from the folder that the Docker file is, but we're gonna change that when we do the build, because we are going to change. We're not going to do the build process from this image from this folder. We are gonna go back to the source to the API folder, and we're gonna build from there. Okay, so when I do this copy, actually what it's doing, it's copying everything that's on the API folder. Where we're gonna do that? We're gonna do that here. So now I know that the source folder, the owner of the source folder, it's this one, the TGS. Okay. Actually, TGS is not a good name for a user. Let's call it node. Okay. Let's just use the name of the language that we are using, because inside of the Nodejs, maybe they already have a node user. Okay, so let's just use node. So the owner now of the source folder, it's Node.js. I'm gonna use Node.js inside my my Docker file. So my container, the running user there will be Node.js, and when I copy from all the folder, I'm going to use the node to do that. Okay, and of course, as I'm into production, I'm just going to do the yarn install and production equals true. Okay, so this is minimal things that most of the people I know forget to do, and this is gonna make the image that you use to go live more insecure. Okay, did you get it, Bruno? Did you have any doubts about it?
Yes, I got it. I never thought that way. It's a very good point because we have to make sure that the container that we are creating is secure and have um have a user with the privilege to do just the things that we want him to do. So yes, very very nice, very very good point.
Yeah, so this is some important steps that we need to do. The other thing is when you do the yarn install and it's going live, you don't do the yarn install production false. You do the yarn install production through. So all the
Yes,
things that we use in the, for example, if you get the package JSON, you have dependencies and dev dependencies. For example, Nodejs, Jest, and slints that we use in our IDE to receive hints about things that we are doing wrong. The Jest, that it's for running the tests, and Nodemon it's to keep it alive. Uh, we we are not going to use it. Okay, so the only thing that we need is these dependencies. So the Node module is gonna be a little bit shrink, so a little bit small. This is gonna make um, our image and our software to run faster.
yes,
Okay,
he's going to build a more performing build, yeah, more
exactly,
performing application.
exactly.
But I never thought in make the user inside the container. I always have a production user in the server that I'm hosting, but I never thought about the user inside the container. So it's a very good point.
Yeah. Uh, Another thing that it's really good to do when you are working with an image, it's not just run the, well, actually, we would do something like that, run node and then src slash index.js. That's it. So there are some softwares and some applications that are going to help you to do a how can I say, when you init your when you're going to init your application, you wanted to init it gracefully and stop it gracefully. Okay, so the PID that works for the Node.js, the thing is, the Docker will create a process as a PID1, okay? And these must inherit the handle process signals to function properly. And this is why you should avoid things like starting directly, like start node and index.js just directly. What you should do is to use something to handle it for you. And I just going to give you a example of that. One I really like to use, it's the dump init. Okay, so I'm just going to install it inside my my container. Okay, it's called dump init. Okay, and what I'm gonna do, of course, I'm just going to do like that. So dump init. There we go. This will make this problem with the PIG goes away. Okay, so it's just a software. You can use it in any language you want to. If you're working with Python, if you're working with Java or whatever, don't start it like directly using the PID of the Docker and all. Let something handle that to you. When you do that, another thing that you can do to improve anything, it's as you can see, I'm doing the server init in here. Okay, so it's like directly, and if anything happens that needs to finish the job, there is nothing here handling the finishing of this server. The server is just getting initted, but it's like it's never end. Okay, it's gonna work forever, but sometimes you need it to end. So how you gonna do that? How you gonna do it? Okay. So in the process of Node.js, you can get a function, okay, that it's like an observable. So you can pass. It's already listing everything. For me, it's gonna be sign int. Okay. So if I receive a sign int, this means that the environment is asking me to finish all the jobs. Okay. So what I'm gonna do to do that? So I'm gonna pass here a function. Okay, and this function will be the one that's responsible to finish my server. But I don't have right now, I don't have right now something to stop uh, to stop my container. Okay, but if you get the server, if you understand what the server is doing here, you will know that the server has a stop function. This server has a stop function, just like what passes to you. It's the Apollo server. So if you want to finish a Apollo server, you just use the Apollo stop, or a server stop. Okay, because these, if you go to the interfaces, it's an instance of Apollo server. So the server is an instance of Apollo server. The same way that Apollo server, it's gonna give you the listen to get their listening. If you call server.stop, it's gonna stop my server. So I'm gonna do that inside. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, and of course, I want it to be more, how can I say, more gracefully. So let's do a async await in order to wait for the server to stop. Okay, and when everything is ended, let's call something from the Node.js called sh. So now I have it's just small steps, but it's more gracefully. When everything stops, everything stops. And if you, thank you, Bruno, for sending these things. So, for example, if you go live in a serverless cloud, or if you are working with some Kubernetes or whatever, when the Kubernetes needs to finish the job and start another one, this is gonna be more gracefully, and it's better for everyone. Okay, so do that. This is really this is a really good thing to do. So we did the dump init. Okay, so we already understands that we need to init it. We not using the PID one. So dump init is gonna do that for us, and when we finish the job is gonna be finished in the best way possible. Did you get it, Bruno? Did you understand the idea?
Yes, I got it. I never I didn't knew the Dumbenich. I will read about it to understand it better. But very nice. It's a very nice point. In the server, we have to have all of the things properly set up to stop to init the server and also stop it in the best way possible, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Another thing that's very important and most of the people forget to do is to create a file here. Let's do that. Docker. It's Docker ignore, but I don't remember if I have the. Well, I believe I don't. Let's just check it. Ignore. Yeah, it's perfect because the icon's changing. So in this file, you will tell to the Docker what it should be ignored. For example, when you copy, just imagine this. I'm copying everything from this to this. So what should be ignored? Okay, and for example, Node modules. It's one of the things that should be ignored. npm debug log should be ignored. Uh, the .env should be ignored. The npm rc should be ignored. Okay, so this is the most common files that should be ignored, but you can put anything that you want here, and this is gonna be ignored when you copy something from the Docker to inside the image. Is it a typo on line 5? What line 5? Where's the typo, Debbie? Line 5? The server file, Docker file. Line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, thank you very much. It is. It is really perfect. This is why I really like to work with QAs. They have a really good eye and a really sharpened eye. Thank you very much. That was a real mistake. So that was a typo, actually. Thank you, Deborah, very much. So I believe that we have all these things prepared. So what we need to do now is to let me think. I have the image, everything. It's the, okay. What I want to show you, I'm already connected, but just let's just log out. Log out. Hello. Yeah, Docker Hub is a little bit. So you can create an account in Docker Hub, and I will use Docker Hub as a registry for me. Okay, what does this mean? When I build the images in my software, I will get the images and send it to the Docker Hub. Most of the people get the image and send it directly to the Amazon, directly to Google, directly to any other place. But when you are developing software, you need to try as much as you can to not be dependent on the cloud. Why do I say that? It's because, for example, if you're at home and you wanted to create software for different companies we use different clouds. So every time you develop software for company X, company Y, company Z, company X use Google, company Y use Amazon, company Z uses DigitalOcean, for example, and another company use Azure. What you need to keep in your mind is that you need to develop software for all these companies with all these clouds. So instead of just pushing the image to one of the cloud and get dependent of that, you can use a registry to do that for you. Just remember that inside Amazon and Google and wherever they have their own registry, but you can use Docker Hub because Docker Hub it's like the universal registry. So you can have access to that. When you use Docker and you do Docker pull, immediately the first thing that it's fetched, it's the Docker Hub. So we're going to you can just create an account here. It's free, of course. There's the free, the paid one. So I'm just going to use this one, okay? And inside of this, you can create repositories in your name. But what I really recommend you is to go to the organizations, okay? And then you can create an organization here. I already have the other God stack, but let's just, here it is. So free team, unlimited, one team with 3 members. And when it's paid version, it's not that expensive actually. For a company, for example, this would be like $7. It's well, in reais this is a lot. Okay, $7. It's user per month, but this is user per month. So every user you have, it's gonna be 777. At some point, it's gonna get a little bit expensive, but you can keep using the free if you're just going to go with 3 team. If it's more than 3 people in the team, you are a big company, you will have money to pay $7 per person. Well, I wish. So let's do that. Organization namespace, let's call it TGS. Okay, company name, the God stack. Okay, so I'm just going to create it needs 4 letters. How am I gonna do that now? The God. Oh no! Don't. Oh no! Don't do that. We need another letter. How are we gonna do that? Because I'm already using the God stack, and I don't want to. Okay. I'm not going. Well, you could in your home create just create an organization, and I'm just going to use the God stack. It's the one I've created before. It has some repositories already here, but we are going to create another one. Okay, so we're going to create the TGS slash something that we want inside this organization. The next step you want to do, you want to go to your profile. Okay, and no, not your profile, I'm sorry, your account settings. And then you go to security, okay, and then you're going to create a new token. And then you need to name this token. This token we will use into the GitHub. I'm not going to call it GitHub, I'm just going to call it TDS, okay? Let's create it. So here I have the code. Oh, but you're showing the code to the world. Don't worry, I'm just going to delete it in a moment. Actually, I'm just going to delete it now because anyone in the live can get this. But okay, you will copy that. Okay, so let's get TDS again. Just change this and then copy. Okay, and well, okay, it's copied now. And then you're going to the GitHub. Okay, and you are going to go into your repository. You are going to go to settings, and into settings you have secrets. Okay, so let's create a new repository secret, and I'm gonna call it Docker Hub Access Token. Okay, and I'm just going to paste it here, so it's gonna be something just like that. Okay, I'm gonna paste it here and add as a secret. Let's just do that here, adding, there you go. So I can go back here, there you go. Now I have a secret called Docker Hub Access Token. Okay, and I need to create a new one. It's the Docker Hub username, and this is my username, Breno Mazier. There we go. Okay, so add this secret. Nice. So we have 2 secrets. You can't view or you can't edit it. If you try to, let me just get here and see what happens. Update, yeah. If you go to the update, it's not going to show you the previous value that you have here before. You just need to create another information. Okay, you can update it, but I will not going to do that. Okay, there you go. So now I have both of the secrets, and I can use the secret into my process. So let's do that. I have the GitHub, okay, and what I'm going to do, I already have build. So I'm just going to copy it into here. Node.js matrix with, yeah, into here. I just copy it, and let's just put this here. There you go. So instead of calling it build, this one's gonna be test, because this is gonna be the one that's going to test my environment, and this is gonna be the one that it's going to push it into the GitHub. Okay, so let's call it build and push. And what I'm the information I need to say is needs, of course, needs test. What's gonna happen? So the build and push, it's just going to start if these steps pass. So if these steps are passing and everything is all right and working, then we are going to go with these steps. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is to log into the Docker Hub. Okay. So in order to log into the Docker Hub, you're gonna do that. So it's another step called login to Docker Hub. This is gonna use this image. Okay, this image. It's an image with Docker login actions. So, and then you're gonna pass the Docker, the secrets. Remember that we've created the secrets. It's gonna be a hub username and then hub access token. Perfect. And the next step you want to it's to build that. So we're going to set up the Docker and set up the building process. Okay. So, and the next step that we want to is to build and push. So I'm just going to get an ID here called Docker build. You could use any ID you want to. And then you're going to do the Docker build. I'm just change it for TGS. Okay. And then it's going to use, it's not backends, it's API. And here it's going to be API. And let's call it API as well. Okay. So what I'm saying it is the context, it's .api. This means that's this folder. And the file that I want to be built, it's the API registry production. Let's call it API registry. So there's an API here as well. Oh, it was not necessary, this folder, but okay. Now we have this. Let's do that. So API registry, API, and then production, and then Docker file. Okay, push it through, and it's gonna push as this tag. So it's going to create this folder into the Docker Hub. Okay. And for the last step, it's to for the last step, we are going to get all the information that was done with all of this, and we're going to print it. Let's check everything again. This we have the gracefully thing. We have all the images setted. Perfect. It's time to test and see if everything works. I believe it's gonna work, but there is always some bug. We'll create production process in CI. Okay. No, let's do, instead of that, let's do these. Let's add these, let's add these, let's add these, let's add these, and say will improve Docker security. Okay, and now will improve CI process adding production build. Okay, let's do that. Let's send it to our repository and let's check if this works. Okay, there you go, our CI. As you can see, we have two different metrics. The first one, it's the test. So it's going to run all the tests into our application. There you go. Getting the cache. There's a error. Let's see. TJS API service new line. Okay, I got it. It's here. It's need a new line. Okay. Will bug fix missing new line. Okay, let's push. Let's go back here. It's not doing Okay, let's see if it works now. Actually, I'm really stupid because I should before commit anything, I should do the yarn lint and yarn tests to check if everything was right. But in a real development world, if you are working for a company or whatever, you don't just do the commit as I did. You need to check for everything before you commit. So build and push. Now this is starting the second part of our building. So it's building everything. This is the building process. So as you can see, it's running the no cache bash. There was an error. The build and push. Let's see what happened. Insufficient scope authorization failed. Really? The image has the image builded. This is the building. Install next. Bash. Let's see. So next, dump init. Because no cache bash. What? It doesn't seem to be using the right one. It seems to be using. I've edited everything. I did the opposite of what I should then. Okay. So what I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna get these things here and the development. I've did all the editing in the development, so it's the opposite of another. So this is the production, correct one, and this is the development. So yeah, I'm just going to delete it all and do that. Okay.
CI process was executing the wrong script.
Yeah, exactly, was executing the wrong script. So we'll bug fix Docker files. Okay, let's send it. But I believe it's gonna do the same error again because these insufficient scope authorization failed. I think that this is a problem with the no, because the Docker login was successful, isn't it? Yes, login to Docker Hub successfully. Build and push. Well, let's see.
Maybe related to the user. I don't know much of the process of CI because I don't really I'm not usually to not how can I say that? I'm not used to do, but I think it could be the user that user node that you created.
I don't actually think so.
Let's see what
Yeah,
happens now.
let's see what happens in the end. So you install production through copy. This one is actually working. Now I have the copy using the node. Now it's fetching for everything. Of course it's not going to work because in the environment, in the development environment, as I've changed it from online, there is no copy, so there is nothing to do in there. So I can't do, for
Okay.
example, yarn install because nothing was copied to the development image. I believe that this one is gonna work now. Yeah. So it's running the install with production through. There you go. We have an error again. Authorization failed.
It's the same, right?
Yeah, it's the same, but I don't know why. Let me check the workflow and see. Registry API. This one is working because it's inside of these. Docker build setup. What's the step that is supposed to build and push? Build and push is what we're in this one. This is the push. It's gonna do Docker build tag. This one. To production.
Can you zoom it?
Yeah, maybe
a little bit.
Maybe it's because of the. If I do that, I believe it's gonna work. It's because I have a. Yeah, I believe this is gonna work. The thing is, I've created into the Docker Hub. Where do I have my Docker Hub? Not this one. Okay. As you can see, I have into the organizations. If you go, I have the God stack. It's the namespace. So what I'm doing here, I'm pushing to the namespace TGS that does not exist. The one that exists is the God stack. Okay. So this is the error that it's giving me. So in the end, this is gonna be like the God stack API, and let's call it TGS API. Okay. And will bug fix name space in Docker Hub. There you go. Let's do it again. Send it. And let's check it again. There is a saying that say the third it's the charm. So the third it's the charm. The third that it's gonna work. Actually, it's the fourth, isn't it? But it's okay. The fourth is the charm. Let's do that. Okay, the test is working. So it's gonna do the build and push. Actually, I like to do lives exactly because of that, because you do some mistakes and you check why you did that, and people in the other side will understand that these things happens with you when you are producing software. Sometimes you just try to do some things, produce some bugs, and then you try to improve it. This is what actually I believe that. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. Maybe people at home it's not reading it very well. Let's check for it. And this is still the Docker building thing. It's done. Exporting image layers. Let's see what happens. And I believe that was the namespace. I'm almost sure. Let's check. There we go. It was the namespace. And what? Would have been delayed based on the retention size. This one is okay. Okay, so let's go to the Docker Hub and refresh it. And now we have the Godstack TGS API. And here we go. It's working. Guys, it's beautiful, isn't it? What do you think about that, Bruno?
Very nice, very nice.
Very nice.
I never
There is
worked
already
with Docker
4.
Hub. It looks very nice.
Yeah, there is already 4. Why do we have 4? Who pulled it? Oh, no problem. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna test it. Okay, let's test it. We're gonna test it in our own computer. So I'm just going to get the production. Okay, and I'm going to do that. Okay, so now I have all my environment, because that's what's going to happen into any cloud you have. So you're going to copy the Docker Compose production to the Docker Compose, and of course the environment production to the environment. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do this and change it for production. Okay, perfect. And into this container, we are not going to build anything anymore. I'm just going to use image, and then I'm going to get this image. Okay, there we go. Volumes, we don't need to mount any volumes, because everything that we need, it's already inside the container. So in production, you don't need to mount anything. Actually, if you have, it's not recommended, but you have some file uploads that you need to mount inside the container, exactly the same thing outside the container, and then use some mount to create a bucket into a Google Cloud or Amazon. You could have a volumes set up here, but in this specific case, we don't need to. Okay, and of course the HTTP port you need, all the environment for production you need, so all that. It's already working. Nice. Let's test it and see what happens. CD API and Docker. Let me just stop everything. Docker stop, and then do Docker ps -a-q to stop everything, and Docker rm Docker ps-a-q. Okay, let's clean everything to my computer. I don't want any container running in my computer. I just copy these. Okay, and I will do something. The thing is, I formatted my notebook, so some of the things that I like to have, I don't. So let's do that. Local being the clean. Nice. And ask why, and then copy, and then let's save it. And now sudo chmod x for execution. So local being the clean. Nice. Now if I do the clean, it's gonna run the command. Perfect. So docker compose app and see what happens. Oh, look, it's getting the image from the server. Nice, nice, beautiful. Too much good, 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 good. What happened? Entry point assemble. Ah, of course, of course. We don't need this command with assemble. We don't need to do that anymore. What we need to do, actually we don't need the command, I believe. You just run it and it's going to run, because there we go. Perfect. But it's running on the 80 door. Is it right? Let's get these and copy and go in here and see if it works. Oh yes, I have the HTTPS and all. Okay, advanced. Perfect. It is working. Let's. Well, there is the message. Get query. It's missing. If you are in production, the Apollo. When you are not in production, you get in here. You have that dashboard.
The playground.
The playground, exactly. Thank you, Bruno. The playground, the Apollo playground. But when you are into production, you will receive this message back. So there is no Apollo playground running. You just have this message. This means that everything is working properly. My God, I was hoping for much more bugs in this thing. So let's just okay. So good. What I want to do? Okay, I want to get all this information and change it for here. So I actually don't need these anymore. And there we go. My API, it's properly working with anything I need, with all the security I need. And as you saw before, if I have any problems with the test, this is not going to publish or push anything. If I have any problems with the security in here, this is not going to push as well. So everything here, it's going to work properly. Another thing that I want to show you, it's this. I want to add this, some of the security that GitHub offers you. It's very good. The first of them are the dependabot alerts. This will help you to understand if in your package JSON you have a dependency with problems. So let's enable it, and let's enable the security as well. Okay. And the other thing I like to do, it's the setup code scanning. Okay. It's this one, CodeQL analysis. It's from the GitHub. Again, it works for C, C++, Java, JavaScript, TypeScript, Python, Go developers. So it's really good to create this thing in your pipeline. Okay, so let's do that. Create code analysis. We'll add code analysis. Is this right? No. Analysis. Okay. commit directly to the main branch because we can do that. So perfect. We have the API, the code analysis, and let's check if it is running. Yes. Now every time my CI process runs, it's gonna run into parallel both of these this process. So if it will run the, as you can see here, the Node.js GraphQL API and the CodeQL. This one will be responsible to create an analysis about your code and if there is anything in your code that it's not secure enough. And this is going to help you with that. The GitHub team created that in order to help the developers to do better code. Okay, so it's not just for JavaScript, it's for Java, for anything. I strongly recommend you to enable this feature. Okay, so let's wait to finish and see if our code is good enough. And according to an artificial intelligence that get lots of JavaScript repositories around the world with the best uses if we do that. Let's see. Well, you know, everything is good in our code. Seems good. And so, see, we have a very good JavaScript code written. That's because we are using S-linked, we are using the best standards and everything. So as you can see, when we check it, it checks perfectly. And let's do that. Let's see if this one is already done. It's already done. Let's check the Docker Hub. Docker Hub, and check if our image was updated a minute ago. Yes, it's updated. Yeah. When you say it's a minute ago, it's around 0 seconds to a minute, so everything is properly configured. Bruno, do you have any doubt about what we've done today?
No, I don't. Very, very good explanation. I will adopt this method of deployment. It's a
Yeah,
very good.
yeah.
I learned it a lot today.
This is one of the things I really, really want uh, to implement in every software that we have inside Platanus. We need to improve the security in everything that we're doing with all the images. So we should go back to all the repositories that we have and implement these kind of features.
Yeah.
And again, you can ask me why you're not pushing directly to Amazon or Google. It's because we develop software for different clients, and each one of the clients have different clouds. So you can't be dependent on the cloud. And of course you're gonna say, hey, but you're dependent on the Docker Hub. But the Docker Hub, it's the universal repository. So I can be dependent on that. And as you saw before, it's not that expensive. If you are going to expand anything, it's gonna be $7 per user per month. Okay, for a company,
it's a very affordable
yes,
price
it's
for
very
a company.
affordable. Yes, it's very affordable. And everything that we are doing with GitHub, it's actually free. So we are using all the process in the GitHub. As you saw, I don't have it on GitHub. I don't have a upgraded account. Actually, I really want one. I really want a upgrade account. The Pro is just $4. and I don't know what's the benefits of that. You have 2 gigas, free public repositories, 3000 minutes month. Uh, every time you run the CI, it counts the minutes that is running. So when you're using the free, you have 2000. When you're using the paid one, when you use the free, you have 2000. When you use the paid one, you have 3000. And you have protected branches, code owners, draft pull requests. You have a lot of things that, if you are a company developing software, I strongly recommend you to upgrade it to Pro. But if you're just a person, if you're just a developer doing some freelancers at your home, what you're gonna do? You're gonna get the free plan, and you're gonna use it as much as you can. Then you deliver the product to your client. The client starts to get money with that. When the client goes and gets more clients and more money, so you can say, hey, now let's pay for all of these because it's very important. The team developing the software is going to grow up, so you will need all that. So I strongly recommend you. I'm showing you the free tier because it's where you start a product for a client as cheap as possible. And when the client, your client, gets money, then you just talk to your client, say, now you're getting money, so let's make it even better. Okay, so that's how you do products to clients, being the cheapest possible, going to the spending money. I see a lot of projects in my life that when the person are starting a product, it's already spending a lot of money, thousands of dollars, and the software is not even into production, but there is thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars being spent. Try to minimize that for the much as you can. When your client is getting money, then you improve the things and create an infrastructure that allows you to do that. And that's what we're doing here. That's what I'm trying to teach you. This is my experience. Start small with an infrastructure that allows you to go wherever you want to go. Another thing that I want you to do is to make the development, what is that? Here it is, the development image more secure as well. Okay, of course, when you are developing locally, you don't need all these securities, but let's do that. Why not? Okay. So in order to do that locally, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, let's just get this from here. Okay, and this is development. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do that. Okay, so the work tier, I'm just going to start with work tier. I will install next. Of course, locally you need the bash because you need to run tests, you need to add things into the yarn, so it's good to have the bash. When you don't have the bash into production, it's a security, because if someone is attacking your API, it will not have the bash to run some commands, so it's more secure. Okay, and then I'm going to use the dump in it as well, and then I'm going to, in the end, I'm just going to make this folder to the node user, and the command, it's not necessary because I will just use the local. So when we are running it locally, I have this to run the command for me. Okay, so this is I believe that this is everything that you need to do in order to, I believe I don't need that. Okay, so Docker Compose, this is gonna save, and let's check if everything is working. The clean and Docker Compose up. gonna clean everything. It's gonna do all things, and there we go. My software is running. What I want to do actually, let's just do the git pull to get the code analysis. I will remove the Node modules. Actually, as you can see, where's the Node modules? The Node modules outside my container, the owner of the Node modules, it's the root. Okay, so let's do that. Sudo rm Node modules f. Let's remove the Node modules. What? My password. Okay. Let's remove the Let's Encrypt as well, because that was just a production thing. Let's Encrypt. All right. Nice. So I'm just going to do that again. So let's clean everything, and let's create my containers and see what happens. So now it's going to run, and it's going to create a Node modules in here in a moment. And what we're gonna do, let's wait a little bit. The Node modules is still root. Why? Because I already have the image, isn't it? Yes, I do have the images. So docker images. Okay, docker. Let's remove the image, and I'm going to remove the image API latest. Okay, I need to clean all my containers and remove this image. The image is deleted. Let's see. I don't need to. Yeah, okay, clear. What's gonna happen? It's gonna rebuild the image. So this development, it's gonna to be rebuilded. So docker compose app context. What? Okay, because I have production, it's development. Okay. Nope, can't stat. Okay, I need to remove the data as well. Data. Okay. And perfect. So it's going to build the API. The problem with the data, it's because the data was being used by root, and I didn't put that into my docker ignore. So let's add it. So when I get things from my folder and put inside the container, it's not going to do that with the .data. Okay. So last lay, I should remove first. Okay. Node modules rf, and let's remove these. Let's do the remove everything, and docker compose app. Okay, so now it's creating, and let's check it. Nice. There we go. As you can see, now the Node modules, the owner of the Node modules, it's my own user. What we have before, we were using the root user to do things inside the container. And now, inside the container, I'm going to use a user called node in this case. But outside, if I'm not using root, the user that's going to be used, it's my own. It's the user that's starting the Docker. So as you can see, I don't have Node modules owned by the hood anymore. The Node modules now it's owned by myself, and this is really an improvement for our image locally as well. The dot data it's created by the Postgres, and the Postgres images runs as needs to be run as root. So of course you will not use a Postgres Docker into production. You're going to use any database into the cloud that you're using. We have questions in this. The project I'm working on has a lot of engineering problems. I will suggest watching the lives. Oh, thank you very much. At Platanus, no sarcasm, guy. I didn't. I didn't know that. Oh, didn't get it. Maybe it's a intern joke. But well, anyway, what you need to, what you actually need to do, if you want to improve your images, I believe that the biggest security thing is the first one. Don't use standard image, and the second one, do the chon and then using a user instead of using root. This is a real good improvement for everything that you need. Uh, well, Bruno, do you have doubts about it?
No, not so far.
Uh,
It's very well explained.
okay, so if tomorrow in the projects that you are working at Platanus, it's required to improve the Docker security, do you think you're going to do that? Do you think you feel um, empowered to do that?
Yes, of course. I'm not working at the moment in the JavaScript projects.
But
I'm
this is
working
not
on
just,
the Ruby,
yeah, but
but
remember, this is not about the
yes.
language. If you have a Docker, okay, if you have a Docker, take a look at
Oh,
that.
sure, of course.
It's not about. I know that you work with Ruby, but this
Yes,
has nothing to do with the language. This has to do with the security inside the Docker. I don't know if you work
yes.
with Dockers. Do you work with Docker into your projects
Yes,
you're
I
working?
work
Yeah. So,
in the project that I'm working. We are using Kubernetes, but this is this is another person's responsibility. Uh, it's not up to me to um, to configure that. And the person, it's a little noisy here, but the person that just a second because it's noisy here. And
no,
my
don't worry, don't
street's
worry.
a lot noisy. Um, the project that I'm working, the tech lead um, say to me that it's his responsibility. So I I didn't touch any of it, but of course uh, we should do that. And there they have a lot of good process to do that. I don't know if it's the same, but it's a good way of deployment. But we could have a chat, see how it's working, suggest some changes. It's a very nice way to improve the production and improve the security.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, for example, you are working a project that are really big. You have the team leader. You
Yes,
probably have people that are more senior working there, and they are always looking at that kind of things. But it's really good if you just take a look around and see how it's configured. Don't
Yes.
don't go into a project and just do your part. Just look around and see and ask questions to people. Say, hey, I was trying to understand what's happening here and there, uh, and I know that you are working with a very good team, so they will help you to understand better what's happening, uh, and they will help you with that. And
Yes,
this,
actually, yeah, actually, I um, I tried to do that, but it's a little bit difficult than I thought at the beginning. Uh, I I don't have contact with the production side. Just uh, we set up an environment of the to development in my machine, and that's it.
nice.
So I'm working that way,
Yeah.
but in the
This
future
this
maybe
is one of
we
the things.
could.
For example, I saw a video at YouTube today that the guy said uh, deploying something to the production in, I don't know, 15 seconds. He just opened Netlify, get a folder, and put the folder into the Netlify. There you go. You are into production.
Drag
And
it on the photo.
when I saw that, I just started to imagine. Okay, okay. So you're getting something from your machine, and you're just, dragging and dropping into the Netlify, and it's into production. Man, if you do that in a real world, we're software development world, you're gonna have a lot of problems with that. As you can see, what we're doing here, we are creating the CI process. You have the test, and you have specific branches to go to production. Man, it's it's a lot of things. So uh, people, I don't know if a junior on the other side, we have 8 years. Uh, the software development, it's much more than drag and drop something to production. So it's a lie, and I don't like when people lie to software developers, because when they start to do that for real, they will get a lot of problems and create a lot of bad software. So what I'm trying to do here is to make you in the other side avoid creating bad software, okay? And just getting a folder and publishing it into production. It's the worst possible way to create a software. You're gonna have a lot of problems with that. And then people's gonna say JavaScript it's the problem, HTML it's the problem, Java or whatever it's the problem. That's not the problem, it's the engineering. You need to understand that there is much more. We are talking about security and everything, so don't drag and drop things and think that's in production. Don't do that. Respect the software development. Software development is much more than dragging and dropping things into production. Okay? So respect our word, please. Don't create software saying for juniors that you can just drag and drop things and everything's alright. It's not. Respect software development. Engineering serious, software development serious. Okay? Well, that's it, people. I know that we most of the time we use 2 hours. We just 1 hour and 20. Uh, in the next session, we will start React. Okay, so we will the same way we did with the API. We're gonna do that with the SPA. We're gonna build React line by line and not using just half a June is very happy. I believe that he's very happy because we are going to go to the front end because it's more his side of the the world. But
Yes, I know that a lot of guys here wants start the React, we
Yeah.
start the SPA part. They are expecting this for a long time.
So let's do that.
They will
And
be
let's do
happy.
that line by line,
Yes.
respecting the software development, respecting the engineering, and uh, discussing and showing things to the people that it's not a lie. Okay? So please
Yeah. Yeah.
respect
That's why.
software
Yeah.
development.
That's why the live is a little short today,
Yeah.
because the next step is to start the SPA. So
Yeah. Yes,
it's
exactly.
better if
This is not,
we
yeah, exactly.
it's better if we start from the live with the beginning,
Okay,
with the first with the
perfect.
first step of the SPI.
Guys, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for being here with us. Uh, let's see if there is anyone. Let me just check here. Uh, let's get to it. TV. Let's get something. Let me see if I know somebody good that's software developer that's there. There is nobody that I know. Let's see if, this guy is, it's, I like this guy, so I'm just going to raid to there. And uh, everyone that's here, please just follow this guy. He's real good. He's working with um, bitcoins and things like that, so it's very interesting. Let's go there. See you guys in the next The God Stack. Bye.